Since Monkey World opened its doors more than 30 years ago, it's established a global reputation as a leading primate rescue and rehabilitation centre. It all started when Alison's late husband, Jim Cronin, rescued 9 young chimpanzees who'd been used as photography props on Spanish beaches. Since then, a multitude of different primate species have arrived at the park needing help. One of the more unusual rescues took place in 2018, when Alison was asked by Animals Lebanon to collect a pair of red-bellied guenons. They'd been intercepted by Beirut's airport customs as they were being smuggled for the black market trade.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you guys.
At the time, very little was known about the species, other than they originated from the forests of Benin, where the population is in serious decline. Once they settled into life at the park, the pair, named Benny and Nia, thrived. They're now proud parents to 2 hyperactive youngsters, Biff and Nala, who like nothing better than running, jumping, and playing in the lovely outdoor enclosure they call home. Today, the care team have something a bit different lined up for the family of 4.
We've got some camellia flowers for the guenons today. Something that they haven't had in a while, so it'll be quite interesting for them. A lot of colour, interesting smell, and hopefully they'll have a nibble on them as well. So we'll just scatter these around the enclosure, give them something to mess around with. I think the young girls will definitely be very interested, because they love stuff like this.
Earlier in the year, the Guenon enclosure was completely renovated, gaining a roof and more space to move around. Lots of natural planting was added, but as leaves and bark make up part of a guenon's diet, the new trees were soon stripped bare. Today's more colourful offering is also completely edible.
When we can provide them something interesting like this, it will take up part of their diet, but to be honest, we're not actually sure if they're going to eat these, so it'll be quite interesting to see what they do. Otherwise, it covers all of our enrichment bases. It's very colourful, so it's visual, it'll smell nice, it's novel, and hopefully they'll interact together over it and we can see them how they socialise as well.
The family of 4 have been waiting patiently indoors, eager to get outside. The guenons are often a little wary of unusual things in their enclosure, but the bright scented flowers and glossy green leaves draw them in straight away, and they're soon tucking in. The colourful petals are a definite hit, as are the fresh green leaves. They seem to be leaving the bark for later. The 2 youngsters, big sister Biff and little Nala, still get on well together, but there has been a change in recent months. While Nala is as bouncy and energetic as ever, Biff is growing up.
She's a bit more relaxed now. She still has moments where she'll charge around the enclosure with Nala, but she's spending more time with Benny and Nia and doing things that an adult monkey would do, you know, spending a lot of time grooming, less time playing.
The camellia flowers and branches have been spread all over the enclosure, so there's plenty available. But the guenons also use their cheek pouches to store food. Once they've enough, they go to a safe place to eat their food in peace, pushing the food out from their pouches. Mum and Dad, Nia and Benny, have come a long way since the dark days when they were stolen from the wild.
One of the most important things for primates is social interaction. 99.9% of them are social animals. So giving Benny and Nia a little family unit was really important, I think. It's helped them behave naturally, it's helped them unlock behaviours that they wouldn't have been able to reach had they not had this family, you know, their caring sides, their protective sides. And seeing them now, they're just a happy little group, and it's really nice to see.
It's been a long, dismal, wet winter. Not much fun for the park's primates or their carers. But whenever possible, the team encourage their charges outside for feeding time to help keep them fit and healthy. However, there's one family at the park who never need much incentive to take advantage of their lovely outdoor space, whatever the weather. The 4 red-bellied guenons. But this morning, the primate care team are going to entertain them indoors, filling their bedrooms with a ton of straw and burying their breakfast inside.
The harder we make it for them to find their food, the longer they'll spend doing it and the more interested they'll be. So if we can give them something interesting inside, that's much better for them, and it gives them something to do for the whole day.
And today, breakfast is a medley of nuts, consisting of walnuts, almonds and cashews.
So we haven't given them too many because we don't want to give them too many calories. But yeah, they are quite hard to see. They're very small, and they're excited already. And it's, you know, it should take them quite a while, and then we'll refill it tomorrow if we need to.
The group are impatient to see what's in their bedroom, but when faced with the massive straw covering the floor, they're all a bit wary. Dad Benny checks it all from a hose, making sure it's safe for his family. Unfortunately, he loses his balance, but it's a very soft landing. Encouraged by Dad's mishap, the rest of the family soon join in and quickly realise there are tempting treats to be had. They're soon foraging through the straw. The 2 young sisters, Biff and Nala, are growing up fast, and it's created quite a problem for the primate care staff.
Yeah, they're getting quite difficult to tell apart now. Nala and Biff have almost caught up with Nia in terms of size. Benny's still the biggest. Benny's still probably the friendliest towards the keepers. But he does get bullied a bit by Nia and Nala. Nala's taking after her mum, and Biff is taking after her dad. But other than that, they're a happy little group. They've got space to be away from each other if they need. They've got privacy, and they've got all the climbing frame that they could possibly want.
The search for food continues. Red-bellied guenons are primarily frugivores, but their diet also consists of leaves and insects. They have cheek pouches allowing them to forage and store food at the same time, until they reach a safe place to eat.
So they'll probably gather as many as they can and then run outside and eat some out there. There you go.
And this family's safe place is up high in the trees and platforms of the outdoor enclosure. The primate care staff will keep reusing the straw for the next few days, giving the guenons plenty of food for thought. While Hananya's chimp group take it easy in the warm summer sun, there's one small troop at the park who rarely take a laid-back approach to life. The family of 4 red-bellied guenons. Mum Nia and Dad Benny have their hands full with their 2 daughters, Biff and Nala. The sisters like nothing better than dashing about, jumping and climbing in their wonderful outdoor enclosure. But with the temperatures soaring, the primate care staff have decided the full-throttle guenons could do with a cool-down. So they're serving up a fruity treat, frozen in blocks of ice.
This is a bit of a new thing for them. So they've had like chunks of frozen watermelon in the past, but they've never had big block lollies, and there's a lot of frozen fruit in here. So I don't think they're going to be able to believe their eyes when they first come out today.
Steph and the team aren't sure how the guenons will approach the frozen feast.
The guenons are pretty smart. It's whether they decide whether the cold ice is worth it or whether the better strategy is to just sit around and wait for the sun to melt through so they can grab the fruit. So it'll be interesting seeing if they actually bother with licking the lollies, or if they just sort of smash them on things, or if they wait for the sun to do the work for them.
The family of 4 are let out into the enclosure and take up vantage points to survey the unusual offering. They're normally full on when it comes to food. Youngsters Biff and Nala rarely hold back. But the suspended ice blocks have them flummoxed. They're not sure what to make of it all, or where to begin.
It's a bit of a free-for-all when the Guenons come out. Generally, the kids are not shy, and they're not opposed to pushing Dad out of the way when it comes to treats and stuff. Benny has a very good feeding strategy. Everything just gets shoved straight into his cheek pouches, but he can't do that with a big block frozen lolly. He's actually going to have to spend some time working on it first. But the kids are usually head first into anything new, so I expect they'll be the first ones.
And they are. Dad Benny watches on as Biff manages to prize a piece of fruit from one of the ice blocks. So that's how it's done. It doesn't take long for the rest of the family to get stuck in. Benny grabs hold and uses his teeth to free a piece of watermelon from the ice block. But he's no intention of sharing it with daughter Nala. She'll have to do the work if she wants the reward. The ice lollies are suspended all around the enclosure to give the Guenons a good workout, testing their agility and brains as they come up with tactics to retrieve the frozen fruit. Clever Benny discovers he has the strength to haul up a big chunk of ice hand over hand. His daughter Nala tries the same technique, but her first attempt ends in failure. Second time lucky? This time, she uses her teeth too. She can't quite manage it and is left with only a fragment of frozen fruit. As the day warms up, the ice starts to melt, revealing more and more of the tasty morsels. The Guenons don't have a great deal of fruit in their diet, so when they do, it's a real treat. Biff has managed to break off a big chunk of fruit smoothie. She heads to a platform with her sister Nala in close pursuit. Nala attempts to muscle in on the prize, but Biff's not for sharing. The ice enrichment has proved a hit with the whole family. In fact, it's been finger-licking good. And when they've had their fill, it's time for a brush-up and a spot of grooming. The majority of the park's primates are given fresh browse as an important part of their diet and lives. It's full of fibre and a natural way to maintain the animal's gut and dental health, as well as keeping them engaged. Today, the family of 4 Guenons are getting their share. Necessary pruning around the park means there's a surplus of apple, pear, willow and hawthorn browse, with blossom and catkins attached. It's something a little unusual for this small family.
So obviously the browse is visually attractive, it's different to all the plants that they've already got in their enclosure, and it's going to offer a lot of different smells, especially with the blossom, and it's going to let off a really nice sweet smell, so hopefully give them a little bit of stimulation, both physically and smell-wise.
The Guenons love to eat new buds and leaves. The team hope the blossom will be an attractive alternative to the new growth on the trees and shrubs in their enclosure, which they love to feed on, sometimes a bit too much. The primate care staff open up the slides. The Guenon family are quick to react, rushing straight out into the enclosure. These little monkeys are incredibly quick and nimble. They're able to negotiate tiny branches with ease as they move around in search of food. Once they've had a good look at the browse, they settle down and start to eat. At nearly 4 years of age, female Nala is the youngest and most energetic of the troop. The fresh green leaves capture her attention and she tucks in. Nala's confidence is remarkable, and she has a wonderful relationship with Dad Benny. Her 5-year-old sister Biff is also self-assured, and today has discovered a liking for the blossom. Both girls will soon reach sexual maturity, becoming young adults. They're already less energetic and boisterous than their early days. It's a sign they're growing up and maturing. Which is good news for Mum Nia, who took a back seat when her daughters were young and running riot around the enclosure. She's now a lot more involved and has become closer again to partner Benny.
Obviously, when they had young children, they had a lot of other things to think about other than themselves as a relationship. Now they're a lot more closer now the kids have grown up. So we see a lot of head wobbles, nice little hellos. So it's really lovely. They're a little family unit again. They spend a lot of time together, all really positive.
The browse and blossom are proving a hit. Everything is edible, with plenty of health benefits. And even if they don't eat it all, some of the bigger branching will provide additional structures for the troop to climb on. It all adds to the variety of life for the Guenons. With winter well underway, many of the smaller primates are spending much of their time in their heated houses. Keeping them busy and active in the colder months is always a bit of a challenge for the primate care team, particularly with a group like the squirrel monkeys. Their favourite pastime is hunting insects. It's easy when trees and plants are in flower, attracting bugs the squirrel monkeys love to eat, but more difficult when plants are dormant. Today, the team have received something that should overcome that problem. A donation of stick insects. And Natasha thinks they'll be perfect for the group of 4 squirrel monkeys.
Oh, the squirrel monkeys absolutely love their insects. It's a main part of their diet, so we make sure to give some every day, sometimes twice a day if we're feeling generous.
The stick insects have been living on prickly brambles, which they eat, making it harder for the squirrel monkeys.
Hopefully that it'll get them using their brains a little bit. So hopefully they will, maybe think a bit more carefully about getting them. They'll, try and be more careful not to prick themselves on the brambles. Usually they're pretty gung-ho about getting their food. Maybe this will make them slow down, maybe think about things a bit, because they're very active creatures, the squirrel monkeys. We like to make sure that they are using their brains as well as their bodies.
The excited group can't wait to get started.
They've all been watching us and they're all ready to go. You ready? Hello, squirrels!
Lopez is first on the scene, but it's female Lucille who's quickest to react, spotting the camouflaged insects amongst the prickly foliage. She's a common squirrel monkey, one of 3 rescued from squalid conditions at a house in Somerset 5 years ago. Logan is the largest, but surprisingly isn't in charge, content to hang back while the others get stuck in. Lopez is currently the leader and always on the move. He just can't sit still, especially when he sees Lucille tucking in and realises there are live insects on the menu. The final member of the group, and one of the youngest, is black-capped squirrel monkey Nove. It's 2 weeks since she underwent major surgery to have a large lump removed from her shoulder. She's recovered remarkably well. The wound has healed and fur is growing back. But, importantly, Nueve's mobility hasn't been affected, and she still has a large appetite. Today, the squirrel monkeys haven't been particularly gung-ho in their approach to the insect hunt. It's been a bit more considered than usual. The brambles and the stick insect's ability to stay still makes the hunt much harder for the squirrel monkeys. As the sun comes out, they decide to go outside instead. But the challenging snack will still be there when they come back in. It's early morning, and Alison is preparing for a long journey north. Tomorrow, she'll be collecting a 2.5-year-old male squirrel monkey called Kimbo from his home in Middlesbrough. The youngster was bought from a breeder during the pandemic for almost £6,000. As Alison sets off, the primate care team are already preparing for Kimbo's arrival.
So we just want to try and make everything as nice as possible.
Kimbo will be joining the park's established group of squirrel monkeys consisting of 2 males, Logan and Lopez, and 2 females, Lucille and Nove.
Fingers crossed when he arrives, he's healthy, and yeah, he settles in quite quickly.
To help with that process, Kimbo will be housed in 2 bedrooms next door to the others. This will allow him to see and hear his new housemates and get accustomed to his new surroundings. Alison's arrived at her destination, a residential home in Middlesbrough, following yesterday's 330-mile journey. It's been a long trip, but worth the effort.
I try and make sure that I see every single primate that we rescue in their previous circumstances so that we know at the park what we should expect from them. How much do they eat? Are they fussy eaters? How active they are. So this is a really important time, even though Kimbo's going to be, you know, looking at us, sort of wondering what we're doing. But he's very human-oriented. He's lived with this family for 2.5 years, I think it is now. And I'm hoping that he just walks into our transport box nicely. So we'll see how we go. But I think the owners are going to be upset to say goodbye, but they're doing the right thing. Alison.
It's an emotional morning for owner Marie. She purchased Kimbo 2.5 years ago for £5,900 from a breeder in Wales.
Hi, stinky man.
Warning you, it's like a bulldog. He likes to warn people.
It's okay. It's okay.
The squirrel monkey was just 12 weeks old and was a gift for her son. When he lost interest, Marie ended up looking after Kimbo.
All the will in the world, you can't give them what they need. I did that, and I've given up 2.5 years of my life to be able to give Kimbo everything that he's ever wanted, and I've done the best I possibly can. But it's come to realisation he's mature. It's not enough. Nothing's ever enough. You know, you can't. It's not like having a child where they're growing up and then they're going to school. You're having a monkey that's getting harder, and he's mature now, and he needs his own family. He needs to be doing monkey things.
Marie has spared no expense caring for Kimbo. She's provided him with a good diet, and along with his indoor living quarters, he has a large outside area where he's been able to spend time during the warmer months.
So we've tried to give him the best what we can.
No, nice job. And the mirrors as well in there so he could look at himself.
Kimbo has taken up every spare minute of Marie's life.
Because I care so much, I want the best for him. You know, even just going over my daughters, it's like, right, I better get back home because Kimbo's been on his own for a couple of hours. You know, he's just there constantly.
So you won't be getting another primate?
I will never, ever. I feel the guilt that I'm feeling. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, it's no good.
It's just too much.
Yeah. It just indicates to me that Marie's bang on. It's time now for him to move on. I mean, ideally, he should have never been taken from his family group in the first instance. But, you know, the breeders and dealers know better, and they're the ones that should answer for this. But at least now, Kimbo's going to have a chance to sort of have a family of his own. And that's the most important thing and what Marie's been able to offer him. In the meantime, I don't think I've seen anybody do so much for their pet monkey trying to make it right. So, I mean, no expense was spared here. This is incredible.
Marie is well used to handling Kimbo, so she offers to put him in the travel box for the journey back to Dorset.
No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately, quick-moving Kimbo isn't ready to leave just yet.
Look at this.
The Great Escape gives Alison a chance to assess his mobility. Marie tries again.
Okay, so put your hand in way down low.
Success. But the reality of the situation hits home for Marie.
He's quiet. He's all right. He's not screaming.
Hello.
He's not doing anything.
He needs this. This is what he needs, isn't it?
It doesn't take long for the young squirrel monkey to settle down.
Actually, he's really calm, cool, and relaxed. So I think we're going to have a nice journey home. He's already checking everything out inside the box, and he's got food and water and some of his toys, and we're going to take on a few more things just so that when we get back to the park, we can set up a room where he's got some of his own things that smell like him, and get him relaxed. So all good so far. Just have to head down the road now, I think.
Time for a final goodbye.
Thanks so much, Alison.
Absolutely, you're part of the family now.
You're a good boy. You are.
Then, Kimbo is loaded up for the long journey ahead.
I will message you along the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Minutes later, he heads off to the park, where a new home and family await him. Following a 6-hour journey from Middlesbrough, Alison has arrived back in Dorset with a new addition to the park's squirrel monkey family, 2.5-year-old male, Kimbo.
He apparently loves his nuts and seeds, is what she said. Yeah, you got him?
Yeah, I got it.
Kimbo will be joining the park's established group of 4 squirrel monkeys in their house and enclosure. To help him settle into his new home, the team have prepared 2 bedrooms for his exclusive use tonight. It means he'll be able to see and hear his new housemates, but have his own space.
Really long journey, but he's traveled so well. I'm really impressed with him. He's probably been better behaved than I have. So yeah, he's had snacks along the way and has been chatting, had a little nap. He's so far bomb-proof. I shouldn't say these things because I'm tempting fate, but looks like Karen's gonna get a few of his things. There's a hammock there, and then mainly the blanket that's in with him.
His former owner has sent some of Kimbo's toys and blankets along for comfort.
For primates, smell is really important, and obviously these things all smell like him. They smell of his home, his old home. So that's really useful because everything else is going to smell really weird for him. It's going to smell of new branching, but also the other monkeys. So just have that little bit of familiarity of a scent does really help them settle in a bit better. And he does seem to really like some of his teddies. So again, just something to curl up to. He's been on his own for a long time, so that's probably just a comfort for him, having those teddies there. Obviously, when he gets introduced to the group, and if that goes well, he won't need them anymore because he'll have others to cuddle up to if he needs to. But for now, we're just giving him something that he's used to and familiar with.
The team need to get him out of the travel box and settled. It's been a long journey.
Okay.
Kimbo's keen to leave his box and explore.
Good boy.
New place.
His new housemates are interested observers as Kimbo begins to get his bearings.
Hey, little boy. Kimbo. Hi, you.
It's amazingly quiet, both from our guys, but also the racket that he made when we walked into the house. I was saying to Marie, I think that he was starting to get frustrated over his lack of control of his environment and sort of wondering if that's actually very true because this is silent, just silent. So he's taking it all in.
Karen is impressed with his mobility.
He's moving really well. He's using all the different side branching really well. So he hasn't eaten anything yet, but that's quite normal. It's quite late in the day and also there's a lot been going on. So he's really going to take everything in, have a big sleep, I would think, tonight, hopefully, after such a busy day. And then tomorrow we can start getting to know him.
The team are satisfied all is well and they can leave Kimbo to settle down for the night. Tomorrow, they'll discuss the next steps towards integrating the young monkey into the rest of the group. Across the park at the Squirrel Monkey House, there's been slow progress for another new arrival looking to join an established group. Kimbo arrived 3 months ago, but introducing him to the park's other 4 squirrel monkeys hasn't been going to plan. The only housemate he gets on with is female Nove.
Kimbo's been a little chaotic whirlwind since he's arrived. He's got the ex-pet thing where he's used to being the only monkey in the household and everything is all about him. So he's had to adjust to life with other squirrel monkeys around. It was just that complete lack of social skills, being taken off his mum at a very young age, sold into the pet trade and raised without any other monkeys. He's just not learnt how you behave in social situations, how you share, how you groom, how you play. He's been so focused on people that he didn't really know that he was a monkey. So it's been fabulous seeing Nove go through the process of teaching him that and see him just become more of what he was naturally meant to be.
But the slow progress means the squirrel monkeys are living as 2 separate groups, with Kimbo and Nove having their own enclosure. Today, the pair are outside, and they're in for a treat. Juicy, exotic kumquat fruits are on the menu.
So mostly the squirrel monkeys eat insects, that's a large part of their diet, but they do eat fruits and veggies and things as well. They will eat flowers and nectar and stuff like that. They're basically opportunists, but bugs are the things they mostly eat. The kumquats are great because obviously they're bright orange, so they're going to be quite noticeable to these guys. And it's also something that they actually haven't had before. And that's what enrichment's all about, is giving something into the environment that they haven't experienced to see what they make of it, see if they enjoy it, get them interacting with it. So hopefully they should enjoy these today.
To add an extra layer of complexity, some of the kumquats have been hidden or suspended on ropes and branches.
So it's encouraging them to use their dexterous little hands, dexterous little fingers to actually work at getting the food out of the holes. The kumquats are a little bit bigger than what we'd normally put in, so I can't fully cover them up, but they'll still have to twist the logs to get the food fully out. There we go.
Steph opens up, letting the pair into the enclosure, and they're immediately on the hunt for food. The brightly coloured kumquats catch their attention straight away. The small citrus fruits originate from Southeast Asia. They're soft and juicy inside, and their skins are also edible. It's a winning combination for Kimbo and Nove. The pair may look similar, but they're a different species, although both are native to South and Central America. Male Kimbo is a common squirrel monkey, like the rest of the troop, but female Nove is a black-capped.
It doesn't matter hugely. There is a slight difference with the male-females in those groups. So in the black caps, the females are normally more dominant, and in the commons, it's the males. But Kimbo doesn't know that because he's not grown up around other squirrel monkeys, and Nove has established that the females are the dominant ones. So as long as Kimbo respects that, then he's good to go.
The kumquats have been a hit. Squirrel monkeys are incredibly active, always on the go, and the fruit and its presentation have definitely kept this pair busy and interested. It's not just the animals that need looking after at the park. Their living quarters and outdoor enclosures do too. The park is situated on a 65-hectare site, which needs constant attention, updating, and sometimes a little bit of a revamp. Today, the primate care team are in the process of renovating the squirrel monkey's wonderful natural enclosure.
Right, so we need to come down.
Takes them off the bottom there, because
yeah.
my foot.
Yeah.
Everything that's been in here for a year, 2 years, it's all rotten now. So it's just time for refurb, get it all branched out, and fill in the gaps that we can hopefully utilise. We've got a narrow enclosure, so we've got to be careful with height, but that doesn't stop us creating a network of branches lower down so that the primates can utilise this enclosure far greater than what they have been.
The team are redesigning and future-proofing the area with 2 other species in mind. The squirrel monkeys share the house with their neighbours, marmoset Loki and Chloe and Desmond, the Saki monkeys. The elderly couple are not as agile as the squirrel monkeys, so careful thought has to go into the outdoor layout. The new design means the 3 separate outside spaces will be suitable for all the residents of the house, should a swap around ever be necessary.
Do you want to cable tie it to it? It's not a point of just putting 1 or 2 branches in to link up an area. We have to create a network so that it makes life easier for our older guys that potentially will come in here.
It's taken a couple of days, but the renovated enclosure is ready. The group of 3 common squirrel monkeys are giving it a test run. Logan, Lopez and Lucille form one of the 2 small troops currently at the park. The other is made up of Nove and Kimbo, the latest arrival, who's still adjusting to his new life. The team are hoping all 5 will eventually come together as one settled group. The trio of common squirrel monkeys are let out and are immediately curious about the revamped enclosure, although a little cautious at first. Lopez scent marks the branches to claim the new structure as theirs. Some of the branching is a lot higher than before, and a good test of their agility and confidence. The primate care staff haven't put out any food for the moment. They're watching the squirrel monkeys' progress to make sure there are no problem areas for them in the enclosure. They'll use food to entice the monkeys back inside should they need to.
So changing up the environment's really important because it gets the primates thinking about life a bit more. If you've got exactly the same surroundings all day, day in, day out, you can get quite bored. So changing the environment is great for them. It keeps them engaged. It also can, the way that we branch the enclosure can give them better access to other parts of the enclosure that perhaps they didn't have as good access to before. It just keeps things much more interesting for them.
The enclosure has always been full of natural planting, and the new perching gives the squirrel monkeys plenty of opportunity to hunt for insects in areas they might not have reached previously. It looks like the trio are loving their new-look enclosure. The team will monitor them closely and tweak the layout if necessary as they gain confidence and become more adventurous. But so far, the renovation has been a success. The park is home to 5 squirrel monkeys, split into 2 separate groups. 3 common squirrel monkeys who were rescued together from appalling conditions at a house in Bridgewater, Somerset, called Logan, Lucille and Lopez, and a smaller group consisting of the most recent arrival, common squirrel monkey Kimbo, who was rescued last year from the pet trade, and female black-capped Nove. Kimbo's lack of social skills and the unlikelihood of the established males accepting him meant plans to integrate him with the trio from Somerset were put on hold. But he did get on well with Nove, so the pair have been separated off to form their own little subgroup. Today, the twosome are being given one of their favourite meals, live insects. But primate care staff member Karen plans to make them work for it.
So this isn't going to be an easy meal for them, which is what enrichment is about, really. It's trying to make them work for their food. It keeps them active, it makes their brains work, because they have to figure out how to get it, but then also their bodies have to work harder because they have to figure out a way to get to it and then actually get to it.
The insects are hiding in sawdust, and Karen's concealing them in a large hanging puzzle.
So this, when it's hung down, actually quite low. So some of the high ones, they'll come down from the top. They'll use their feet to grip onto and kind of slide down a little bit, stick their hands through. Some of the lower ones they may be able to get to from here. They might come from the sides. So they can come from all different angles. There's branching kind of all around it to give them options. But it'll be interesting to see whether the 2 different monkeys approach it differently or they approach it the same. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how they tackle it, really.
Karen fills the puzzle with a mix of locusts and something a bit different, Morio worms.
They don't get these guys very often. These are a bit of a treat. These are Morio worms, so they're nice and big and fat and juicy. When you pick them up, they try and like curl around you and try and bite you. So yeah, we obviously wear gloves anyway when we're handling food for the primates, but I wouldn't want to touch these without gloves on because they can give a little nip.
Kimbo and Nove are let out. And the insect puzzle immediately grabs their attention. The holes are the perfect size for their hands and arms to reach through. But locating the insects amongst the sawdust is a challenge, both physically and mentally, and tests their hand-eye coordination. The locusts are first on the menu. They're big and visible, although they do move quickly. Squirrel monkeys, however, are experts at hunting for insects. Their small hands are just like humans, adept at grasping small objects. Nove prefers to hunt and take her quarry away to eat. Kimbo, on the other hand, can't get enough of the tasty grubs and is happy to gorge in situ. Squirrel monkeys are extremely agile. They don't have a prehensile tail like some other South American primates, but do have a powerful grip that lets them hang upside down when searching for food. It doesn't take long for the pair to master the puzzle and devour most of the grubs, eating in harmony with no friction, and happily sharing the tasty mealtime.